This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at 3 small farms, V2. But before that, this video is brought to you by Lawrence Anderson and Will Hausman. Thank you for being farm barons. So the 3 small farms version 2 map can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now, some of you may be recalling a map named 3 Small Farms, released just over a year ago. And, well, it just so happens to be by the same mod authors as 3 Small Farms V2, which we're going to be looking at later in this video. Now, this map is fairly similar to the first version of the map that came out, except it is now going to fill out the rest of the map size. So the original map was maybe just over half of a map in size, with this area blocked off. And now in V2, we're going to find that that area is now fully populated and able to be played. Let's go ahead and run down through the description. Welcome to 3 Small Farms. In this map, created A to Z, totally fictitious, you'll find your happiness there whether you're solo or multiplayer. This map contains 1 farm with cows, 1 farm with pigs, 1 farm with sheep, 1 fish farm, 1 market garden with apples, a BGA, 3 agricultural cooperatives, 2 villages, including 1 with its own walk, 2 campsites, Massey Ferguson dealer, 1 line production point, 3 placeable areas, 2 independent farms with placeable areas, 1 sawmill, 2 gas stations, 7 mods are required, and there are 20 personalized collectibles. The collectibles are either horseshoes or gold bars. There are 113 fields and meadows on this map, various patches of forestry as well. Factories are scattered all over the map to transform your crops, various water cell points to refuel your crops with animals. There are standard missions as well as missions on meadows, custom soil map for precision farming. I have to maybe question that a little bit, but we'll go ahead and double check that. Hoping not to have forgotten anything. Now, this map does have some required mods. They are the placeable buildings pack, stone walls, vegetable greenhouse, melons and watermelons, factory bottle milk, fish farming, factory soy drink, and flavored milk bottle factory. With that, let's go ahead and load on in. In addition to those required mods, we are going to be using the mods we typically use when we look at maps. They are additional field info, additional game settings, animal food overview, field lease, field calculator, precision farming, and straw harvest. Now, I did want to tell you, if you load this map up in farm management or start from scratch, you will find the farms are built out exactly how you're going to see them here in new farmer mode. And you also own starting machinery in all game modes. The only difference is, of course, you do not own the land, and your bank balance will be higher. With respect to low-end systems, I did load this system up with integrated graphics, and I did find that when I was looking at a specific area here in town, I did suffer a little bit of frame rate drop, but that was only when I was in town. That was specifically when I was looking towards this little farmer's market area. When I got out of town, I was able to achieve a solid 60 frames per second without any issues. Let's go ahead and pull up the PDA. As I said, this is a standard size map that is going to be using 100% of the map area itself. We do have all the standard crops available to us in FS22 on this map. And if we take a look at our farmland screen, you'll see we start up owning farmland ID 3. That is the main starting farm. It is a cow farm. It can be bought for $166,584 in any alternate game mode. In addition to that, we do own farmland 19 and 55 as well. Now, with respect to the other farms that are on this map, we have at Farm 2 a sheep farm that can be bought for $93,336. We also have at Farm 4 a pig farm that can be bought for $54,444. There are arable farms at Farmland ID 86 as well as 87. And when I say arable farm, I mean there are no animal areas pre-placed, and we do have a silo. In addition to that, we do have building sites at farmland ID 88 and 89, which are located right there. The fish farm, as was referenced in the description, is up here at farmland ID 145. And at farmland ID 143 and 142, there are several apple trees that can be purchased. Now, there are lots of other buyable areas scattered around on this map. And I have to say, there are a ton of sell and buy points also scattered all over the place, as you can see by all of the hotspots. Let's go and take a look at our farmland lease screen. This is going to show us all of the buyable farmland, how large that farmland is, if that farmland included any fields, or fields, what is included. Then lastly, how much is that farmland going to cost us? We're then going to be able to cross-reference that with our field calculator screen to see specifically how large each particular field is. What we're seeing is we have fields that range anywhere from 4 hectares down to less than 1 hectare in size. So quite the variety of small to medium-sized fields. With respect to the crop counter, we do have the standard FS22 crop counter on this map. And taking a look down through our prices screen, we do indeed have the ability to sell, quite frankly, at lots of various sell points, all of the crops available to us here in FS22, as well as our animal outputs of eggs, wool, and milk, and our silage, hay, straw, and grass. With respect to base game production items, we do have the ability to sell most, but not all, base game production items. We are missing the ability to sell fabric as well as planks here on this map, which is rather ironic because we not only have a spinnery, we also have a sawmill on this map. In addition, we do have the ability to buy bulk lime at multiple buy points, and we do have the ability to sell our stones at 2 different sell points. With respect to our farm production pack, we do not have the ability to sell any of our washed vegetables, nor do we have the ability to sell any of the platinum expansion production items either. Now, one thing to note, when we do get down here to our premium expansion production items, well, we do indeed have the ability to sell those. If you are playing with pumps and hoses, though, you will need to put down your own separated manure sell point if that is what you wish to do with that particular output. We do also have on this map multiple new productions. We have oat milk bottle, bottle of soy milk, bottle of chocolate, and bottle of strawberry milk. We just have general bottles of milk, soy drink, fish, apples, apple juice, applesauce. And then with respect to our hay and straw pellets, we do have the ability to sell those at multiple sell points. We also have melons and watermelons available on this map. And we do have the ability to sell all of our premium expansion crops. With respect to our starting fleet, we start out with a large list of starting machinery. All of it is owned, none of it is leased, and all of it is fairly well maintained. With respect to animals, we have the cow barn on the starting farm, but we do not have any animals at the start. We do have contracts available on this map, and we do not own any production chains. Ironically, though, there are 45 production chains on this map. Now, 23 of those are apple trees. I will give you that. But there are quite a bit of productions available. And we have 20 custom collectibles. As I said earlier, they are either horseshoes or golden bars. Speaking of golden bars, you have 19 more to find. With respect to that starting fleet, we have a Massey Ferguson MS5S105 small tractor with a Massey Ferguson MF6718S medium tractor with a Nova 330 harvester that is paired up with the PowerStream 500 grain header and the Nardi N40B header trailer. We have our 1986 pickup truck as well as the Karat 140 TD trailer. We have a POV5 XL plow, as well as the Cinto 4000 Super Cultivator. We have the Amazon KG 3001 Super Power Harrow, and in combination with that, we have the Cynthia 3000 Super Seeder. We have the Presea 4500 2C Super Planter from Amazon, as well as the ZATS 3200 Fertilized Spreader. We have the GMD 4411 Side Mower, the GF 8712 Tedder, and the GA 4731 windrower. We have the Colosse Roland 455 RC Univap round baler and wrapper. We have the Anderson RBM 2000 bale trailer, the Silo King TMR mixer. We have the Q3M front loader arms, and for the front loader arms, we have a fork with grapple. And that is all of our starting fleet. With respect to mods and DLCs, this map has none as far as custom vehicles and machinery goes. I'm going to quickly tab over to our starting farm location. You can see where that is here on the map, just south of fields 1, 2, and 3. We have a little fuel tank right here by our small tractor we jumped into. We have our base game silo and fill point hidden within this building. With some of our hay machinery, and then we have our cow barn. So we have our slurry point. We have our food and straw trough. We have our milk trigger. Inside here we have our manure heap. We can have 150 total cows in this barn. And then we have three-sided silage bunkers over here by the cow barn. We have some more of our starting machinery, and then we have bale and pallet storage located right here. Some more of our implement storage. We have our maintenance trigger. And then we do have a farmhouse that we can go into. We have our wardrobe trigger right here. And then we have our sleep trigger located right there. Now with that, we're going to go and tour the rest of the farms on this map. Now we're over here at our pig farm, which is farmland ID 3, just south of field 29. Once again, we have our fuel tank located here. We have our farm silo, so we're dump and fill point. And we have a little shed off of that for implement storage. This is very, very similar to the initial farm, just kind of retextured buildings and a different animal pen. So we have our slurry point for our pigs. We have our manure heap. We have our food trough located here. And then we're going to be able to hold a total of 60 pigs. We do have a water fill trigger here at the pig farm. Bale and pallet storage. We have our maintenance trigger. And just like the other farmhouse, we do have the same triggers located in the same locations. We have our sheep farm, which is located right here south of fields 13 and 14. So we have our sleep trigger right here at the front door. We have our maintenance trigger. $100 total sheep for this pasture. We have our food trough. We have our wool spawn point. Bale and pallet storage. We also have water down here behind the farm. And then we have our fuel point. So all these farms are very, very similar to how they're laid out. Now these would be the 3 original farms on the first version of this map. One of our 2 arable farms is going to be located over here to the east of field 83. Now we do not have a sleep trigger located here, so we will need to put our own down. In addition, a lot of these buildings at this farm are not sellable. Now with respect to the other farms, some aspects of the other farms are sellable, but there is an awful lot of deco that is going to remain at all of these farms. So we have our silo, dump, and fill here. Some general storage for implements at those other sheds. And then we've got some large kind of little plateaus here and down here where we can put additional buildings or animal pastures at this particular farm. Now, kind of our 5th farm that I'm going to call another arable farm is kind of to the west. And it is between fields 85 and 86, located right here. And as we come into that farm area, we do have a water trigger. Lots of implement storage. We have our farmhouse. Making our way around the back. We do have our farm silo. And then moving up from our farm silo, we do have a rather large area also where we could further expand our farm operations or add additional animal pastures. Now let's circle back to what the description said as far as a custom soil map, because the log kind of differs. Here is the line. It shows the log is loading the generic soil map that is a part of the precision farming mod. Now this map may have or may intend to have a custom soil map, but it does not. It is loading the generic soil map that is a part of the precision farming mod. So let's go ahead and see how that is being applied to these fields. With so many fields on this map, we do get a really nice clear picture of that generic soil map, where in the center we have a lot of loamy sand and sandy loam. To the north, west, and south, we do have that swath of silty clay making its way all the way around the western edge of the map. Let's also do a bit of a rundown with respect to all the productions that are on this map, because we do have a large amount of productions. Now, I've gone ahead and taken the liberty of taking ownership of all of the productions, so we'll be able to see each and every one of them. We basically have a cereal factory, a BGA, a lime production, sawmill. We have bottled milk. We have soy drink. We have 3 melon greenhouses, 2 large greenhouses. We have a spinnery, a dairy, a sugar mill, 23 apple trees. We have a flavored milk factory, 2 grain mills, 3 fish farms, carpentry, bakery, and an apple press. So with respect to our productions, we do have a flour mill here, fairly standard with respect to this production. We have our lime production. Stones and water are going to produce lime. We have our biogas plant, fairly standard there. We have a sawmill. We have our carpentry shop. We have 2 bakeries, so we have one right here. Eggs and bread. We have our bottle of milk, so we're going to bring milk and we're going to get bottled milk. We have our soy drink, so we're going to bring soybeans and water and we're going to get soy drink. We have 2 melon and watermelon greenhouses. Water, seed, and liquid fertilizer are going to give us either melons or watermelons. We have 2 large greenhouses. These are the base game greenhouses. We also then have our spinnery. We have a dairy. We have our sugar mill. We have our apple press. So we're going to bring apples, water, and sugar. That's going to give us apple juice, or just apples and sugar, and we're going to get applesauce. We have flavored bottle milk factory. So we bring milk, sugar, oats, soybeans, chocolate, and strawberries. That's going to get us oat milk, bottled soy milk, chocolate milk, and strawberry milk. We have another grain mill here. And then we have multiple fish farms. We're going to bring corn, soybeans, wheat, and mineral feed, and we're going to get fish. A multitude of apple trees. We're going to require water and manure to get apples. And that is a rundown of all the production here on this map. Let's go ahead and take to the skies and get a little bit of a look around here. Anybody that watched the original map tour might get a little deja vu going on, because half of this map is pretty much how it was even back then, and then the north part is where we really do have the changes. You are going to see that we do have utility poles running through the fields. These utility poles do have collisions, so you will need to work around these, and your hired helpers will work around them quite terribly. We have our starting farm located right here. We do have water for the starting farm just on the outside of those buildings. And like I said, the 3 farms that are kind of native to the first version of this map, we can sell most of the things at all the farms, but there's a fair bit of deco items that are going to remain at all of those farm locations. So with respect to the farms being customizable, we're going to give the map a half a point. With respect to production being built in or areas set aside for such, well, we're going to give the map a full point there, because we have, again, 45 productions in all. Here we have our vehicle dealer. We have our dealer trigger here on the side for maintenance, repairing, selling, and repainting. And those markers are representative as to where that trigger is. And then inside here, we do have our shop trigger. And then our vehicles are going to spawn outside. So we do have a fairly large area for the machinery to spawn in at. Do note we do have to get out of the shop though, so we do have a little bit of a narrow gate to get out of. Further to the south, we have our biogas plant. We have 2 pull-through silage bunkers. We have a sell point for wood chips here as well. And our BGA. We have a bale sell point. Over here we have our animal dealer. So we have the ability to buy manure. We can buy slurry. We do have animated animals here. And we have our animal dealer trigger. Further east, we're going to come across our sheep farm that we've already taken a look at. We have our spinnery. So here we have a sell point, and this is going to be a production point. This is going to be our dump point for one of our flour mills. We have our interactive icon, and we have our pallet spawn point. So if we're coming to sell, we're going to go in the right. If we're coming to produce, we're going to go into the left. We do have one of our lime buy points. Our sawmill is up here on the hill. So we have our wood chip fill point. We have a wood sell point located here. We have our dump point for our logs at the production sawmill located right there. We have our log sell trigger and our pallet spawn point. Continue to make our way south, east. the extreme southeast corner, we do have a array of productions. So I think I said the other building was our spinnery. This is our spinnery. The other building, I believe that was our chocolate milk factory. Flavored bottled milk. Yep, that is indeed what that was. Here we have our milk bottling factory. And then we have our soy drink factory here as well. Made our way up the eastern edge of the map. We have another lime buy point. We have a cotton and wool sell point. Then we have a grain sell point located here. Just north of field 54. We're going to have a sell point for soy drink. Making our way back to the interior of the map. We're going to find our dairy. We have a sell point to buy our bottled milk. The dairy also had a milk sell point down there. Trying not to double back too much. So here at this little campground area, we're going to have a sell point for various products. Going along the main drag, we'll call it the main drag of Main Street. We have a sell point for our various flavored milks. We have our fuel point. Our bakery. Then this is where we started out at. So we have our farmer's market. We have another bale sell point. Then we have a restaurant here around the back. Up this lane we have our pig farm, which we already looked at. Here we have our carpentry facility. Another small selling station for our melons. Let's cut back over here to the western side. This is going to be one of the arable farms that we took a look at. Now, these buildings are not sellable other than the silo. That's the only building there that we can sell. Over here we have the lime production. This building pops in super late. It's got a really short view distance. We have our stone sell point and a lime buy point. Coming up here along the northern edge of the map, we do have a large site here where we could build out a farm. We could build out whatever we really wanted to. This is one of the two building zones. We have 3 fish farms located right here. So we have a dump point for our inputs. Around the back, we have our interactive icon. And then we have our pallet spawn point is going to be here within this chilled container. Right, so we have all three of our fish farms. 1, 2, and 3. Got some sell points here. Mama Joe's Diner, Farmer's Market, and a grocery. And now we're coming up to a very, very busy part of the PDA. These are our apple trees. Now, these only pop up if you buy the land. Here we have our various greenhouses. So we have the large greenhouses here. We have our melon greenhouses as well. So all 5 of those greenhouses are located here. This is going to be our apple press. So we have an interactive icon inside. Our dump point for our apples. So it's like a reskinned grape processor. We have a dump point and a fill point here. This is going to be for probably hay and straw storage. Wood storage, so wood chips, apparently. Oh, we have to go around the back. And then we have our spawn point for our apple products, or apple juice, or apple sauce. Another sell point here in kind of the dock area. This is for our fish. Very, very busy map. Lots of things to sell. Lots of things to do. Lots of places to go. Here we have our other bakery. More fish selling depots. Some more of our produce and other production items that we're going to be able to sell there. Another fuel point. Another small stand for our melons. So here we have a grain sell point as well as a lime buy point. And then here we have that arable farm that has the various levels to it. Up on top of the hill, we have our grain mill. We have a water trigger located here. And that, folks, is pretty much going to do it. Now, with respect to our scoring metric, another bale sell point there. With respect to our scoring metric, we're going to be giving the map a full point with production being built in, or areas set aside for such. As I already said, we have 45 productions built into this map. We're going to be taking a quarter point off with respect to the ability to sell all our base grain crops animal outputs or productions because we do not have the ability to sell fabric, nor do we have the ability to sell planks. If you are playing with pumps and hoses, you also do not have the ability to sell your separated manure, but we do not take any points off for that. With respect to the farms being customizable, the 3 farms here at the lower part of the map, they are mostly customizable, but there are deco elements that will remain across all 3 different farms. The farms that extend up into the new area of version 2 of this map, well, those are not so much sellable, so we are going to give the map a half a point there. Buildings where appropriately are using the new texturing technique. Yes, they are indeed. Trigger and interactive areas are clearly marked. I didn't have any issue really finding out and seeing where various trigger things were located. I know we kind of cut a little bit of corners with respect to this map video and trying to get it done in a semi-quick fashion by not running down through every single production where things are spawning in at, but in general, they were all fairly well located. So that's going to give this map a score of 4.25 out of 5. I'd love to know what you all think down in the comments below with respect to this map. Did you play version 1 of this map, or are you going to play version 2? What do you think of the version 2 being released as its own standalone product as opposed to an update? Sound off below and let me know. And until next time, happy farming.